The concluding step in designing a case study refers to its evaluation and assessment. Being the case study a methodology that should enable the enactment of the scientific method, it is key to evaluate its characteristics in order to judge the soundness of its outcome. Still, when it comes to evaluation, there is no universal agreement on the criteria to assess a case study. Yin proposes the first set of criteria to evaluate case studies, which is currently among the most used ones. He claims case studies should be assessed based on 4 criteria. The first criterion is construct validity. This criterion urges the use of multiple sources of evidence and the establishment of a chain of evidence in data collection. In the composition phase, it requires to have key informants to review a draft of the case study report. In other words, construct validity requires the researcher to find an answer for this question. Do you investigate what you claimed? The second criterion is internal validity. It refers to the importance of substantiating the data analysis and interpretation phase with techniques like pattern matching, explanation building, and other logic models to address rival explanations and strengthen your discussions as an answer to the research question set. The underlying question for this criterion is: do you provide powerful and compelling arguments to defend the research conclusions? The third criterion is external validity. This involves the use of theory in single case studies and replication logic in multiple case studies, thus making for generalization through abstraction. It addresses the following question: are your results valid outside of your specific setting? The fourth criterion is reliability. It refers to the data collection phase, where the use of a case study protocol and the development of a case study database would enable replication, thus addressing the following question: would other researchers arrive at the same insights if they conducted the study along the same steps again? Beyond this set of criteria from Yin, other evaluation approaches were proposed. For instance, a second approach proposed by Guba has a differing starting point. Following a more naturalistic perspective, it focuses on trustworthiness rather than generalizability. The criteria it includes are the following: credibility, which represents a different view to see internal validity. The credibility criterion involves establishing that the results of qualitative research are credible or believable from the perspective of the participant in a research. Transferability, a different view of external validity. Transferability refers to the degree to which the results of qualitative research can be generalized or transferred to other contexts or settings. The qualitative researcher can enhance transferability by doing a thorough job of describing the research context and the assumptions that were central to the research. Dependability, a different view of reliability. It starts from the recognition that the traditional quantitative view of reliability is based on the assumption of replicability or repeatability, which in qualitative studies is often virtually impossible to attain due to uncontrollable or soft elements characterizing qualitative research. The idea of dependability emphasizes the need for a researcher to account for the ever-changing context within which the research is carried out. Confirmability, or objectivity. Qualitative research tends to assume that each researcher brings a unique perspective to the study. Confirmability refers to the degree to which the result could be confirmed or corroborated by others. Applying these criteria to evaluate a case study helps assessing whether the research method was designed and conducted in a sound way.